This is Jack Gregson speaking for Menon, makers of world-famous Menon products for men. Good night.
Next Wednesday night, January 25th, the Wednesday night fights will present the 9th annual polio fight in connection with the March of Dimes drive. Direct from ringside at the Norfolk Municipal Auditorium in Norfolk, Virginia, we'll bring you a 10-round middleweight bout between Joey Giambra of Buffalo, New York, and Al Andrews of St. Paul, Minnesota. The Wednesday night fights have been brought to you by America's first coast-to-coast chain of breweries, the Pabst Brewing Company of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Peoria Heights, Illinois, Newark, New Jersey, and Los Angeles, California. And the Menon Company, makers of world-famous Menon products for men, shave cream, aftershave lotions, deodorants, talcums, and hair products. Until next Wednesday night, this is Jack Breeze saying good night.
See The Vice Friday nights on the ABC television network.
Money in the book. However, the big business at hand now is Del Flanagan, who is coming through the ring, as you see, the 22-year-old St. Paul, Minnesota boxer, who puts his winning streak of 49 straight bouts on the line tonight as he takes on Sandy Sadler, featherweight champion of the world, in tonight's feature fracas of 10 rounds. And there is Sandy Sadler in the other corner coming in a Scotch plaid bathrobe. Now, Del Flanagan's record book shows 45 wins, but the publicity here says 49. We have been trying to check with Lou Viscusi about the other 4 fights, but they were sequestered in the dressing room and didn't want to be bothered. Flanagan, who is managed by Lou Viscusi, who, by the way, also handles Willie Pep, figures to give this 126-pound king one of the toughest evenings of his career. Flanagan can box very well. He takes a good punch. He can hit hard.
At all times. You punch away from your clinches. If you get tied up, I'll come between you and say, break. I want you to step back clean. Don't sneak any punches. Holding and grabbing and loafing will score against you. You remember, you can lose a round by any foul. So I want you to... Any questions? Protect yourselves at all times. Shake hands and come out fighting.
And so then, from Detroit's Olympia, tonight's feature 10-round bout, 22-year-old Del Flanagan from St. Paul, Minnesota, unbeaten in 49 straight bouts, and Sandy Sadler, featherweight champion of the world from New York, 24 years old. Sadler is in the white trunks, Flanagan in the black trunks. Two minutes to go, the first round. Sadler, always slow to warm up in the first and second round, will be very wary of what Flanagan does. Minute to go, first round. Half a minute to go, first round of the 10-round bout between Sandy Sadler, Del Flanagan. There's the end of the first round. And, of course, you'll notice that Sandy is a little bit upset, and that's why the crowd is letting go with a big roar, because he turned back to Del Flanagan, who went to his corner, as we are now looking at Del Flanagan, who is playing Will-o'-the-Wisp. And that, of course, comes from the knowledge that he is in Willie Pep's stable and has been taught under Willie Pep's direction to twist and turn as he did in the first round. Well, are you, let me ask? And the boys will be up and back at it again. And now we'll see if Sandy has warmed himself up appreciably to catch the will-o'-the-wisp, as exhibited by Del Flanagan. Round number 2. Two minutes to go, second round. Here at the Detroit Olympia. In the white, Sandy Sadler. In the black trunks, Del Flanagan. Sadler has won all of his 12 bouts this year, 9 of them by knockouts. One minute to go of the second round. No indication yet whether Sadler will catch up with the fast-dancing Flanagan. Waltz me around again, Willie. Half a minute to go of the second round. Rather peculiar, isn't it? There's the bell ending the second round. And now our camera is trained on Sandy Sadler, the featherweight champion of the world, tonight weighing 128 3/4 pounds. Sandy, born in Boston, Massachusetts, made his professional debut in 1944. He was a last-minute substitute in that bout, and therein lies a very great story. He has won 117 of 125 fights, lost 6, drawn 2, and knocked out 79 opponents, and was knocked out once in his career in his second bout. Since then, he has developed rapidly into one of the greatest fighting machines in the history of the featherweight division. In the other corner is Del Flanagan, undefeated in 49 bouts, so the publicity says we have been able to find 45. Attended tonight by Lou Viscusi, the manager of Willie Pep, plus Bill Gore and Harry Raskin in that corner. He emulates Pep in style, as you see, and although Viscusi was being criticized in boxing circles for taking this match, He feels confident that Flanagan has the style to score a big upset here tonight. So we shall see what we shall see. Round number 3 at the Detroit Olympia as the boys come out fighting. While this may not be the greatest of fights, it certainly is a definite indication of a man's tactical genius, and Flanagan has it this evening to avoid any trouble in here with the featherweight champion. Ninth round in the Detroit Olympia between Sandy Sadler, they're right over our Pabst Blue Ribbon microphone, and Del Flanagan. Sadler in the white trunks, Flanagan in the black trunks. The crowd doesn't like all the roughing tactics that are going on, and of course experience stands in good stead for Sandy Sadler in this particular being. Half a minute to go of the ninth round. This has been Flanagan's best round. He has scored repeatedly and often, still dancing away, however. There's a lot to discuss as the ninth round ends in this bout between Sandy Sadler and Del Flanagan. It's been a will-o'-the-wisp runaway, hitting, clutch, grab, elbows, arms, bumping heads, and all the cute little tricks that lend themselves to aggravation, as particularly tonight, the champ doesn't like being spun around the way Del Flanagan has been doing it. Say, my friend, how long's it been since you've tasted a real glass of real old-fashioned ale? Well, it's ale time again, so how about right now? Buzzer, 10th and final round. When the bell sounds, we'll admit Pabst Blue Ribbon mighty happy to bring it to you tonight. Sandy Sadler at the Detroit Olympia and Del Flanagan. Two minutes to go, 10th and final round. Well, it's a peculiar exhibition, and certainly not one becoming, let us say, a championship encounter, since there is a champion in the ring. But I want you to know Sandy is rip-roaring mad now. That mouse I detected before on Sandy's eye is not a mouse, it's just the way the eyelid is made. When I mean made. One minute to go, 10th and final round here at the Detroit Olympia. Sandy Sadler in the white trunks, Del Flanagan in the black trunks. It's been an interesting, if unspectacular bout. Half a minute to go, 10th and final round. If you didn't see that, Flanagan landed a beautiful right straight on the button. Then they clinched. He has partially closed Sadler's left eye. I think I was right. The crowd is standing up. Flanagan came strong the last 3 rounds, and there's the end of the bout. Sadler and Flanagan. Now we'll wait just upon the decision as the cards are selected by Dave Walsh from referee Clarence Rosen and the judges Andy Brown and Bill Appleton. And after these cards are inspected by the members of the Michigan Boxing Commission, of which Floyd Stevens is the chairman, Bill Matney, the Detroit commissioner, and Lou Searle, the secretary, why, we'll have the decision. And while we're waiting for the decision, don't forget, next Wednesday night at the Chicago Stadium, Pabst Blue Ribbon will bring you another of these regular Blue Ribbon bouts. Next Wednesday's main event should turn into a real Pier 6 brawl when Vern Mitchell of Detroit clashes with Bob Satterfield of Chicago in a 10-round heavyweight battle. Now, we're just reminding you about next week's bout. I'd like to have you make Wednesday and every Wednesday your Pabst Blue Ribbon fight night on television. Now, just wait until we get the decision. The cards have been collected. You see all the activity in this section of the ring. Everyone's most interested in exactly what the decision is going to be, so consequently they're coming around now to move into where we are located here at ringside. So the jibes and the jeers and the boos and the cross-current of conversation and opinion go up. We're waiting now on Dave Walsh to move out into this ring. I wish he would. I guess this was going to be, and let me say it as long as they're taking the time, conceivably a split decision. It was rather wide as far as the scorecard here was concerned, but that spurt in the last 3 rounds or more by Flanagan makes this appreciably very close. We should have a very close point decision, and in this state, it's all by points, not by rounds as we know it back in New York City. So the points totaling 50 a round will go 55 to 45 in a case like that, or 56 to 44. And I would presume right now that this is going to be a very close decision, although from the round charts and my own score chart, I would have to make it a bit one way. But I conceivably can see from the point system how close this decision could be. And, of course, it's indicated by the length of time it takes for Dave Walsh to come to the microphone. And now here he is, and the crowd will wait with anticipation as Dave Walsh again inspects the cards. All right, Dave.
Your attention, please. Judge Andy Brown scores 52 points for Flanagan, 48 for Sadler. Judge
Well, this is one of those nights. At least we know that Andy Brown scored 52 points for Flanagan. Now, 50 points will determine a draw. 52 determines that that man has won that portion of the fight from that judge.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. Now, this is a close fight. We want to have your attention, and we want you to be fair. Judge. Judge Bill Appleton scores 54 points for Flanagan, 46 for Sadler. Referee Clarence Rosen scores 51 points for Flanagan, 49 for Sadler. The winner, Flanagan.
Well, the winner of this fight tonight, Del Flanagan, undefeated now in 50 contests. All the points were by Andy Brown, 52, Bill Appleton, 50. I've been trying to determine whether Sadler has a mouse over his left eye, but I can't tell. 1 minute to go, sixth round. Boy, they're using every trick in the trade. We might just as well admit it's going to develop into a Donnybrook. Less than a half a minute to go of the sixth round. Yes, indeed. The booing was for Sadler, uppercutting, but with a backhand. There's the end of round number 6 here at the Detroit Olympia. And lately, Sandy Sadler, in somewhat the same manner as Sugar Ray Robinson, seems rather content to box his way through his current contests. Now, both these champions, Sadler and Robinson, as you've seen them on our Blue Ribbon events, do not evidence, I don't think, a contempt of their adversaries as much as they impress the fans, or try to, as being positive of their own ability. And they call only on enough fighting to stave off a loss. Now, it's probable that should the favored Sadler, he is 2-1 in the odds tonight, find the key to solving Flanagan, which he hasn't been able to do yet, he'll employ the tactics that have featured his 2 most recent bouts. But if he need be, he might try to chill Flanagan, as he has 9 of the 12 he has knocked out this year. There's the buzzer for the 7th round coming up in our Blue Ribbon events, presented tonight for your pleasure by Pabst Blue Ribbon Beer. And that's Del Flanagan now coming out of his corner. I don't know what Lou Viscusi, his manager, has said to the official Clarence Rosen, but on both occasions that he came over to talk to the referee in between rounds, the crowd just let go with a hoot. Two minutes to go of the 7th round. Despite cautionary remarks by Clarence Rosen, the referee, no round has been taken away from Sandy Sadler, who has been guilty of requiring cautionary remarks. One minute to go in the seventh round. Both boys are unmarked, but Flanagan is showing a red flush to his normal white skin. I mean, it's a fair skin. Less than a half a minute to go in the seventh round. See Clarence Rosen continually talking to Sandy Sadler, and there's the end of round number 7. Well, I presume that it's just as easy for you to suggest to yourselves what you think about the fight so far. And now there's another discussion, this time from the opposite corner, as Charlie Johnson comes out to speak to Clarence Rosen. Well, round 8 coming up here at the Detroit Olympia. Del Flanagan, at whom you are now gazing, and Sandy Sadler, featherweight champion of the world. Two minutes to go of the 8th round. Most of those leads by Flanagan which score, there's usually a counter by Sadler. On that occasion, there wasn't any. 1 minute to go, 8th round. Half a minute to go, 8th round. Sadler's quite anxious now to start getting in close and blasting away. There's the end of the 8th round. Del Flanagan returns to his corner, giving a good battle to Sandy Sadler and having a very happy crowd behind him. His manager, Lou Viscusi, is in his corner, along with Bill Gore and Harry Raskin. And Flanagan, who weighs 132 3/4 pounds tonight, has a 4-pound advantage in weight over the featherweight champion. And he is 2 years younger, and they're both about the same height and have the same reach. And you've seen his tactics tonight. They haven't changed. Sandy Sadler, of whom much has been said, much has been written, with his great record of 117 wins and 125 bouts, had those 3 great bouts, you'll remember, with Willie Pep. He knocked out Pep in 1948 in 4 rounds. He lost the title to Pep the following year in a truly great 15-round bout. And this year, on September 8th, he stopped Pep again. Hence, he is the featherweight champion of the world. And he has scored great victories over many great fighters. He's up against a tough one tonight in Del Flanagan, round number 9. That barrage of lefts with right crosses, which were landing, finally opened Sadler's mouth, and whether he was playing possum or not is something you can't see at the moment. Two minutes to go of the third round. Flanagan has defeated some very good boxers. Tonight, I think he's fighting a bit different than his usual style. Sadler is beginning to get that long left into Flanagan. He has the midsection starting to redden up. 1 minute to go of the third round. Half a minute to go, third round. Here at the Detroit Olympia, Sandy Sadler, Del Flanagan. There's the end of the third round. And now, after you chalk up that round on your scoreboard, how about pouring yourself a round of, well, what'll you have? Sadler in his corner. The buzzer is sounded for the beginning of round 4 once we hear the bell. And there it is, round number 4. Pabst Blue Ribbon, mighty happy to bring you this Blue Ribbon event. 2 minutes to go. Round number 4. You know, while Flanagan has a good stiff left jab, he can move well. He can hook with his left and cross a straight right hand. Constantly moving the way he does, he's not getting much power out of either side, port or starboard. One minute to go of the 4th round. Sandy Sadler, Del Flanagan, here at the Detroit Olympia. Half a minute to go. 4th round, both boys unmarked. There's the end of round 4 between Sandy Sadler and Del Flanagan here at Detroit Olympia. If anything, Del Flanagan is now coming back to Sandy Sadler, having slowed down his will-o'-the-wisp tactics. And while Sadler has yet to score the cleaner punches since Del Flanagan has scored those, nevertheless, he's coming down on his heels, Flanagan is, and that's giving Sadler the chance to reach to him with that long left and that remarkable left hook, which he uppercuts sometimes. Say, we've got a hot one in the cards for you next Wednesday night at the... Coming up tonight in another of your blue ribbon events on Wednesday evenings. This one, Sandy Sadler, Del Flanagan. That's Del Flanagan coming out now. Well, you saw what happened, and now you're seeing what happened in return. Sadler's getting mad. He doesn't like the way Flanagan has been will-o'-the-wisp. He's lost a little of his temper, and the crowd doesn't like the way Sadler punched, especially with Flanagan's back turned to him. So don't miss anything. This is going to be ding-dong from now on in. Two minutes to go of the 5th round. This is a 10-rounder. Sadler is beginning to reach with that left hook and left swing. 1 minute to go of the 5th round. Developed into quite a wrestling match. Half a minute to go of the 5th round of a 10-rounder here at the Detroit Olympia. Little of the edge taken off by that excellent exhibition between Joe Garza and Castle Tate, just as we came into your homes, wherever you may be, or in your favorite taverns. That reminds me, did I say Pabst Blue Ribbon? There's the end of round 5. By the way, the referee this evening, Clarence Rosen, is the familiar old Bay City buzzsaw of some 25 years ago who fought 8 champions and perhaps will best remembered for his fight with Jack Britton, Clarence Rosen. Say, do you want to know how to judge truly fine beer? Well, brother, just pour yourself a glass of Pabst Blue Ribbon. Well, there's the Pabst Blue Ribbon seal announcing round number 6 coming up. So it's Del Flanagan and Sandy Sadler, and that's Sandy Sadler at whom you are now gazing. Round number 6. Two minutes to go of the 6th round of a 10-rounder. Featherweight champion of the world, Sandy Sadler, in a lightweight bout with the lightweight from St. Paul, Del Flanagan, undefeated in 49 bouts, trying for 50.